Did Bryan Kohberger really have a connection to the victims in the Idaho 4 case through social networks? Hey everybody, it's Lucky with Unfiltered Lucky. Before I get into this video today, I want to talk a little bit about a video that was put out by another creator yesterday in response to my previous video about the interviews and the interviews that were conducted with the Gonzalez family before they had a suspect in custody. Now, yesterday I was getting comments and messages that Harsh from Harsh Reality had made a video in response to my video. And so right away I went over there. I wanted to watch this video, and I watched the video, and I thought it was really cool. You know, Harsh, he didn't agree with something that I had said in my video, in my interviews video, and that was that I believe that Steve Gonzalez said that Kaylee did call 911. That she said that she did, that he said that she did call 911. Now, that's what I believe that I hear. Now, when you look at the context of the entire sentence, it would definitely make more sense that Steve Gonzalez was saying that Kaylee didn't call 911, as in did not call 911. When you read the whole sentence, you know, as a whole, it would make more sense that Steve Gonzalez was saying that Kaylee didn't call 911. But when I heard him say this in this interview, I went back and I listened to this probably 25 times. I pulled out the headphones and was listening to it with the headphones with the closed captioning on. And that's the picture that I put up, which is the picture I'm going to put up now. I'm not going to play the video, and you know, you can find it. It's still out there. It was December 4th, and it was the Steve Gonzalez video with Fox and Friends. You're more than welcome to go over there and listen to that video yourself. To me, it does sound like he is saying, Kaylee, she did call 911. But then when you read the rest of the sentence, it makes more sense that he would be saying that she didn't call 911. So there's some confusion there. And Harsh concluded that he believed that Steve Gonzalez was saying that she didn't call 911. And he could definitely be correct. You know, he could definitely be right. And, you know, but for me, when I go back and I play it, I hear him say she did call 911. But when you read the rest of the sentence, when he goes into the rest of the sentence about her not being scared and not being in fear, it would make more sense that he would say she didn't call 911. So I definitely get what Harsh is saying. And, you know, I mean, none of us really know whether Kaylee called 911 that night or not. So who knows? Maybe, you know, go listen to this video, go listen to this interview, and tell me what you think. If it sounds like he said she did call 911, or if he's saying that she didn't call 911. Let me know. And I also wanted to say thank you to Harsh for, you know, the kind words that he said about my channel. I really, really do appreciate that. And you know, that's what this is really all about. This is about sharing information and, you know, not only expressing my own opinions and ideas, but also listening to other people's opinions and ideas. Because a lot of times that might change my opinion or my idea. So that's what this is all about to me. And I thought that that was really awesome that Harsh did that. So I want to say thank you for that, Harsh. I really appreciate that. So that leads me to my video. Now, today I want to talk about a creator on this platform, and her channel is called Bubbly Waters. Now, I watch some of her stuff because I find her very clever, and her channel is very interesting. She does a lot of things with audio and video, and I just find it very clever. So, if you want to go check out her content, and if you want to go and refer back to the video that I'm talking about, her channel is Bubbly Waters, and I'm going to post it up here so you can see it. Now, she did a video a couple of days ago about a creator named Faceless. Now, she had to do some deep digging to find this, or as she says in her video, she kind of stumbled across this information. And the video was very short, but I felt like this was important information because it deals with the connection between Bryan Kohberger and the victims. Now, she talks about a guy named Faceless that has a podcast, and the podcast is called, or the video, at least this particular podcast that he did, was called Scumcast 1. And if you want to look it up, it's under the channel Faceless, and it's Scumcast 1, and the podcast was on June 8th of this year. But Faceless is basically talking about Bryan Kohberger's Instagram page. And he's talking about how that came about. So basically the story that Faceless is telling on this podcast is that there was another creator, and his name was Warbear. Now, Warbear and Faceless, they also do crime type of content and current events, from what I could tell. I'm not familiar with Faceless's podcast. This was the first time that I had seen it. But basically, what he talks about is that Warbear was building his channel and building his page on social networks, and then he just disappeared. So Faceless basically says that another guy who Faceless knows started a fake Instagram page under Warbear's name. And he started this fake Instagram page under Warbear's name in order to start posting content onto this page. Why he did that, I have no idea, but this is the story that's being told in this podcast. So when they arrest Bryan Kohberger, the person who created that fake Warbear page immediately, once he hears the news and hears the name Bryan Christopher Kohberger, he immediately goes to Instagram to see his Instagram page and realizes that Bryan Kohberger does not have an Instagram page. So what this guy does is this guy changes the name of the fake Warbear Instagram page to Bryan Christopher Kohberger. Then he puts that page on private and begins to put some details in there, some bio stuff, and he goes and he follows all the victims on this fake Instagram page. Now, Faceless is tagged. This Instagram page only has one video on it, and it's a Warbear video that he made for another company, and the guy that created the fake Warbear page pulled this video and put it on this page. And in this video, Faceless is tagged in this video. So Faceless is now connected to this video. Now, this was originally a Warbear page. So when he switches over the name to Bryan Christopher Kohberger, he leaves the video up. So, of course, when other people are looking for Bryan Kohberger's social networks, they come across this fake page that has one video on this page. And it has nothing to do with Bryan Kohberger at all. It has to do with Warbear. But Faceless is tagged in this video. So now, of course, people are thinking, okay, well, who's Faceless? He's tagged in this video on Bryan Kohberger's Instagram page. Now, Faceless tells this story on his podcast. Again, this is June 8th of this year. And Faceless he has no connection to these crimes at all whatsoever. So Faceless is located in California. He has no knowledge of these crimes. He's indirectly involved because he's tagged in this video that is on this fake Bryan Christopher Kohberger Instagram page. So as Faceless says, he starts getting a lot of inquiries about, these crimes. And he doesn't know what's going on because he doesn't know anything about these crimes. But he's tagged in this video that's on this fake Bryan Christopher Kohberger page. So he didn't know anything about these crimes, but he did know that this page was created and that it was a fake Bryan Christopher Kohberger page. So, this basically, why would he tell this story and explain how the fake Bryan Kohberger Instagram page came about? Why would he make that up? I mean, he doesn't know anything about these crimes. And it makes sense because it all makes sense in the way that the page was set up. So I thought this was interesting because the social networks is kind of how people have been trying to create a connection between Bryan Kohberger and these victims. And this Instagram page was key in creating a connection, a possible connection. Because even when the Gonzalez family was talking about this Bryan Christopher Kohberger page, they also mentioned that, Steve Gonzalez mentions that he doesn't know if this page is real or not. And it appears that this podcast, the Scumcast 1 with Faceless, it appears that Faceless confirms that this page was fake. This page was created. And another thing I want to talk about is kind of, this is how things can happen because, sometimes there's evidence out there that can be explained rather easily. It's just that we're not talking to the right people. So there's probably a lot of people out there who have information, crucial information about the Idaho 4 crimes, but they don't even realize that they have it. They don't even realize that they have this information. So I just thought that was a very interesting video that Bubbly Waters had found, because if what Faceless is saying is true, and I believe that it is, because I don't believe he would have any reason to lie about that. He's not connected to these crimes in any way whatsoever. He's in California, far, far from Idaho. So if what Faceless is saying is true, then it would dispute that connection. It would dispute that Bryan Kohberger did have a connection to the victims. So I thought that this was rather important information, in my opinion. We have somebody confirming that they created a fake Instagram page, and that page was under Bryan Christopher Kohberger's name. So that was really interesting to me. I think that was a really good find, and I feel like this podcast, or I feel like Faceless, I feel like he was just telling a story in general But I feel like it turned out to be some really important information. So stay tuned for my next video. I'm going to be talking, going back into the Rebecca Zahau case. This case just fascinates me to no end. And there's a lot of twists and turns in this case. And if you don't know about this case, I made a video kind of giving a really brief recap of this case. And we are going to do a deep dive into this case. There's some really strange aspects of this case. So stay tuned for that. And please like my channel if you like my content. I really appreciate it. We'll see you next time.